proud of you guys because I feel like I'm speaking to people who have really just been pouring all of their time and energy and focus onto themselves. And I feel like painting a really beautiful life for yourself. I feel like you've been creating and manifesting a really beautiful life for yourself. And the reason why I say this, the first card was sun. Paint the sun back into your sky. Don't build a home that will come crumbling down if a single person walks out of the front door. When it comes down to it, we can't depend on other people to make us feel happy or fulfilled. The fact is that people are going to leave from time to time, and you're the only one who's guaranteed to stay. Take the time to find sources of joy outside of your loved ones. You deserve happiness that lasts. And I feel like that's what's happening, where I feel like you guys have been making an effort to tap more into joy, to be a whole lot more creative, and to find different ways in which you're able to express that joy or able to tap into that joy. I feel like I'm speaking to people where you are setting yourself free. And I feel like spirit is really asking you to, because that's what the sun card is about. It's about happiness, it's about joy, it's about play. And I think spirit is wanting you to go and have more of these experiences, to live, to have more fun, to create more, to manifest more, to paint, to draw, to act, to sing. Whatever you do that allows you to express your creativity, spirit is asking you to do that. Whether it's like you design video games, you know what I mean? Like, what is it that brings you happiness, that brings you joy, that brings your inner child that happiness and joy? You're showing up as the King of Cups. And I could be speaking to people where maybe your life right now is like, you're not chaotic, but there's a lot of chaos that could be happening, because with the King of Cups, like, the water is very choppy, but he still remains calm, he still remains cool and collected under pressure. And you know why? It's because he's like, I got myself, I got spirit, I trust myself, I trust my intuition, I'm pouring back into myself. And I think that is the biggest thing, where I think a lot of the times, like, what determines how you feel emotionally, what brings you that emotional stability, is you pouring back into yourself and you having a full cup. And I think before, you used to pull from so many other people, and I think that's what also added to you feeling like, oh my god, my life is like, you could have felt like spiraling or out of control. But I feel like right now, even if things are out of control, because I'm still recording this during eclipse season, I feel like you're the calm within the chaos. You know, I feel like it's that self-compassion that you have, that love that you have for yourself, that you're like, no, I refuse to let anything or anyone get me out of alignment. I'm staying happy. I'm tapping into my joy. I'm finding my joy again. It could just simply be that. And the reason why I say this too is because the last card was villain. You can always rewrite the story. And I feel like you have some big time hater that has been trying to, it's almost like, because you see, she's trying to destroy the shell that's there. I feel like you have some big time hater that's trying to destroy this protective barrier that you have around yourself, but with this dumbass doesn't realize that protective barrier is called self-love. It's called self-compassion. It's called self-esteem. It's called self-worth. You know, if they had any of it, they wouldn't be trying to destroy yours. So this person doesn't realize that, like, no, you're not going to be able to destroy the collective, because literally the overall energy was guarding. Like, you've been chilling in your own garden. You've been, I could also be speaking to people where I don't know if maybe you're into gardening, or if that's something that you, spirit is like calling you like towards, that could be very beneficial for you. I'm just hearing like you guys are just supposed to be creating, but you could be the type of person that spends a lot of time in nature. Maybe that helps you to clear your mind. It gives you breakthroughs. Maybe it's a really good place for you to meditate as well too. I feel like also right now spirit is wanting you to protect your energy, because I see her wearing a crystal. So I feel like wearing crystals, wearing protective amulets, it could also be like, maybe you guys could also be called to work with different herbs, like because I'm seeing that there's flowers there. Maybe you could be making like a mojo bag to protect yourself that you can carry. Whatever is the different ways that you like to protect your energy, spirit is like, do that. Because there is somebody who's actively trying to destroy you, but I don't feel like they're touching you. I don't feel like they're phasing you at all. I feel like it's because you're in your own energy and you're not worried about anything or anyone else but yourself and your growth. You're not worried about anything. You're too busy being in your own garden. Something lovely will grow from this. And you're that something that has been growing and has been evolving. You know what? I'll read that passage as well too. Hold on. And then we'll get back to villain. Something lovely will grow from this. Either we sit around and dwell on our pain, or we learn how to grow something lovely out of it. Ready or not, it's time for you. It's time for the next chapter of your life. Do the thing you feel that you most need to do in order to aid your healing, even if it feels selfish. Sometimes it needs to be a little selfish in order for it to work in the long run. Worry about focusing on you for now. And I think that's what it is, where there's two things I'm getting with this, because I did a spirit guide message the other day, and it was talking about forgiveness and how in this new chapter of your life, forgiveness is very important for your growth, for you to feel more solid, for you to feel more secure and stable, for your happiness as well too. And I feel like spirit is really asking you to, like I said, to forgive the things that have happened to you in the past, to forgive even this person or people who have hurt you in the past, but also to be a lot more selfish. And I feel like spirit is like, it's okay. It's okay to be selfish. Hell, you may be the villain in other people's eyes because you're pulling back your energy and because you're not easily accessible to these people. Oh well, spirit is like, you can't dwell on what's happened in the past. So that's why spirit is really asking you to practice the art of forgiving, but you also have to make sure that you are doing things for you and not for anybody else. And it's okay to be a little selfish. But with villain, we'll get to that too. It's interesting because I feel like this villain is receiving their karma because justice came out. But we'll read villain. You can always rewrite the story. A hard truth to swallow. Sometimes our villains win. However, that doesn't mean you should give up or lose all hope. It just means that it's time to rewrite the story and keep going. It can be incredibly freeing, empowering to reclaim yourself after a personal tragedy. And I think that's what spirit is like. You give yourself justice. You give yourself justice by facing the pain, by taking accountability, by recognizing what was your role in this, and not taking on what other people were projecting onto you, not carrying that guilt, not carrying that blame, not carrying that shame, because it's not on you if somebody backstabbed and betrayed you, but it is on you for you to move on from that personal tragedy, from you to move on from that pain, for you to learn the lessons, so that way going forward you know what to look out for, you know, or maybe you didn't trust your intuition, and maybe going forward you're like, you know what, if I'm getting a weird feeling or weird vibe, I'm gonna honor that, because you're showing up as the King of Cups. I'm speaking to somebody who's hella intuitive as well too. You know what I mean? So I feel like spirit is like, it's about you giving yourself justice by setting yourself free and forgiving and moving on. And don't worry if these people are going to face their karma. Of course they're going to face their karma for how they treated you. But you just may not be able to know this or hear this. And that is also none of your business. Your business is you healing, you thriving, and you moving on, and you protecting your energy. So hopefully this resonates, and if it did, thank you for liking the video, thank you for following, thank you for commenting down below, and if you would like to work with me, the link is in my bio. And until next time, bye.